Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Ousama Ranking, the Ranking of Kings, episode 4, and you can probably already tell that I'm quite excited. It's also very early in the morning for me. It's not actually that early, but it's early for me. I'm working on fixing my sleep schedule and getting a little more consistent and stuff. I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. I'm trying to get better. Everything better. Better in every way. Which is kind of relevant to what Boji's trying to do, although he's doing it in a more wandering path. Well, anyway, last week on Ousama Ranking, we met for the first time, for real, we met Hiringu and found out what her name's deal is. We also discovered that while she is Daida's mother, she is Boji's mama, and there's a difference between those two things. She loves that boy, and I didn't think that she did, and I'm so happy that she does. It makes things so much sweeter, and it makes me so very afraid for her well-being in the future. Because she's a character who's compassionate to our main character, and that might not last for very long in a world where Daida is king. Speaking of which, Daida's king! We'll get there. Bebin captured Kage, had some talks, and then drove him away after talking to Boji and telling Boji that he was driven away. He's not there anymore. He ran away from you. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't want to be your friend anymore. Leave him. Don't be his friend. Don't be his friend, Boji. Then some weird shit happened. And I mean weirder than weird. There was a weird demon thing that popped out of our king's face when he died and pointed at Boji, laughed a bit, and disappeared into a puff of smoke. I got no idea how to read that. It's just the thing that happened. It's probably really important, and it feels really important, but I have no idea what it is or what to make of it, and so there's no point theorizing in it. Sorry. I could throw out a bunch of theories about it, and none of them are going to matter because we're just going to find out eventually what it is anyway, and I'd rather just sit here and be like, the fuck was that? And then we'll get there when we get there. Yes, there is a mirror on the wall that forms itself into a creepier than usual, which is hard to manage, by the way. Creepier than usual reflection of Daida, and tells him that all things are going according to plan, and indeed, he will be the king. And indeed, come the next day when they announce the new king, Boji's ready for his announcement, and they instead announce King Daida because of a conversation led by Healing and a couple of the others to make that happen. Now, two people did not vote for Daida to be king, and so they must flee. I think there were Sundeo and Apias. We haven't dealt with Sundeo yet, I don't think, but Apias takes the fuck off, starts booking it. Over the course of some other things, we realized that the whole thing that Bebin told us about our new best friend leaving and not saying goodbye seems weird, so we go seek out a different best friend, a giant multi-headed snake that there has been some conflict on the comments over whether it's a three-headed snake losing one of its heads or a two-headed snake that lost one of its tails. I still think it's a two-headed snake that lost one of its tails, but I'm okay being wrong. I don't really care. It's a big snake with missing parts, and it's fucking sick. It lives in a crystal cave, and it tells Boji nice things about the real world, and it's awesome. I like the magic snake given expositions, and it's cool. Then Bebin catches up with Apias, who has gone off to some extent, secure power for Boji, which is really interesting. Suddenly, our world is expanding dramatically. We've gone from this really tight, really confined focus on this one, castle area that is Boji's homeland, and the few people around him who know what his deal is and deal with him on a daily basis, and many of them have figured out how to use sign language, and many of them care about him. But now we're expanding outward from there, and one of the directions, one of the axes of that expansion is that Apias is going off to something to help Boji secure his throne. And Bebin is dispatched to stop him. They fight. It's fucking sick. I think it's a really cool fight. I've gone back through it, and I still think it's a really cool fight. I really, really like it. It's short and concise and brutal, and the actual animation and style of it, and the wibbly-wobblies of the spear, and the flippity-dippities of the animation, and the style, and the way it's all choreographed, and the way it's all put together, and the way it's compositioned to make things feel really dramatic and powerful. It's all really cool, and I like it a lot, and I want to see more fights. Apias stabs Bebin, and I'm going to hesitate from saying kills Bebin because we watch Bebin's body get consumed by the earth, and I don't know if that's normal because I don't know what's normal in this world. The last person we saw die turned into a giant demon popped out of his face, so I don't know. Is Bebin okay? Is this his magic transposition power where once every long rest he can just reset himself to a different position and be fine? I don't know. I don't know if Bebin is full dead right now or fine. No clue. If he's dead, that's a pretty big blow to Daida's ability to, like, maintain power. He's like Daida's shadow dude who is in the shadows doing assassin stuff and making his power actually come to fruition. He's loyal and useful. And if he's dead, then there's one less loyal, useful person for Daida to call upon. And that could be good for us, but it could also be really bad for the kingdom. And that's a really interesting point here. Now, I'll go through the last moments, which are Boji wants to go on a journey. Healing says no. Boji tries to escape. Healing dives out of a tower to try to save him and does save him via healing, and then agrees to allow him on his journey as long as he is escorted by Domas and Hokuro, who means mole, who is the soldier who was talking him up earlier. Great. So here's the thing. Now the main threat to succession in the throne area situation is gone. So Daida pretty much thinks he's won, right? He's won. He's king. There's no threat to king. Boji's gone. He's fine. He doesn't need to do anything now. What will he do with his power? I don't know. I have no idea. Will he start going conquesting? Will he start consolidating more? Will he throw bread and circuses to keep the people happy? Will he do what? What's he going to do to probably squander the authority and power that he now has? And how will it affect the kingdom moving forward? And how will the loss of Bebin, if he's gone, prevent the prevention of all that bad stuff? I'm scared. I'm scared for the kingdom as a whole, because Boji is leaving and he can't stop anything now. But it's also really important, and it reminds me of some, like, fundamental tropes in storytelling that I think are really important. Hero's journey and more Japanesey tropes and more overseasy tropes and more, heck, even ancient tropes. There's an element of this that feels almost like the Odyssey, and that's a weird comparison to make, but we've got a main character leaving home with some of his squad and some other people taking power in his place, and things could go really bad at home, but he could learn the skills that he needs to come back and defeat those really bad things as he goes out on his journey. Likewise, frequently in, like, a Joseph Campbell classic hero's journey sort of thing, bad things at home create the inciting incident for the main character to leave and then return with all the information and the like gathered knowledge and the worldliness and understanding of the way the world works in order to return home and fight off the thing that causes the problem. Example, Luke Skywalker kind of wants to go join the revolution and be cool and stuff. But then, moisture farming, he's got to help the family. Oh, wait, they're corpses. Bad people did it to them. Let's go become part of the revolution. And then we'll gain a bunch of skills by going to a crazy place where we meet a green guy who teaches us a bunch of skills, and also an old man in the desert who teaches us a bunch more skills. And then we can go and we can fight the bad guys who killed our aunt and uncle. That's not really the reason we do it, but it is the inciting incident, right? Likewise, I don't think that the reason we're going to come back and probably be at odds with Daida is necessarily because he stole our throne, but it is the reason we're leaving, and now we're going to come back, and I think we're going to come back to a hellscape in this castle. And I'm very excited to see what that looks like in, like, 5 episodes or whatever. For now, though, we get to just journey the magical countryside, which has already been shown to us to have lots of cool magical things, like talking snakes and crazy other shit and demons and stuff. I don't know. So we're going to go off, and we're going to go find out some interesting things in this world. And I think, given the nature of the series, that generally, probably, Boji's general, like, lovability is going to probably push us through some of these circumstances and get us help and assistance and loyalty and all those things from some of the people and creatures and monsters and other stuff that we meet out on the way. That sort of nature of his, of being compassionate and trying to understand the world around him, especially through the barrier of not really being able to understand the world around him, is probably going to be really interesting. And he's got a couple of good people to be with him. He's got somebody to carry the bags, which is important, except Balnor. And he's got Domas, who's a really good swordsman, and that means he's probably going to be relatively safe. And we're off to go seek out Healing's family home and then return immediately. This is our journey. This is the journey we're going on. I have no idea what we're going to experience on it. I've already laid out all the things that I think we probably might just from a trope perspective that I would expect, and that's fucking cool. Okay. Now, there are like 2 comments that I want to shout out just because they're great. One of them is a throwback to episode 2. Sai Styled writes, and I love the emotional content of this comment. Just reading it, I feel you. I feel you. Writes, at Teeaboo, another thing I noticed is the scene when he trades the toy horse for the tomato. He loses both T, he doesn't get his food, and he gets beat up, and they don't even return him his tomato. Arr! He doesn't have the ability to put stuff in him then as a kid, so I think it's a good argument to say he lost his horse. Oh, he for sure lost the horse. Oh, and also the apple and or tomato that he lost as well. Yeah, no, it sucks. It's brutal. And that's really good. It makes it feel really brutal, and it sucks. And that's what we want in this circumstance, right? Like, that makes sense. Hold on. There's a thing going on. Hold on. Okay, that's better. I have to struggle. The cord of my camera was touching my desk, so I noticed that when I was touching my desk, it would cause the camera to oscillate, because I've got the camera on a boom arm that's attached to the wall back over there, so that when I accidentally bump my desk, it doesn't shake around too much. But anyway, if the cord is touching, then it was transferring some of the shakiness to the camera, and I don't want that, so I'm just testing that and fixing it, and there we go. Sorry. One comment down. Second comment I wanted to talk about. I think it was Connor CT. Connor wrote a bunch of comments because fuck yeah. Some of them were personal or direct to me because I know Connor. And some of them were this one, which was, the fights are so dope, dude. Yeah, dude. For real. The way Appia's broken spear bends against the blade, the energy you feel behind it, and how it's shot in general really reminds me of a TTGL fight sequence. Specifically, when Kamina first encounters Viral. But of course, it's keeping its own style, just something I thought of right away, which is a huge compliment, by the way. Yeah, massive compliment to point at a fight scene and be like, this is reminiscent of the greatest show. I mean, that's not true, but a show like Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. I can agree with that. Some of the whipping around with the camera and the way that characters actually move through space around each other does remind me a little bit of that Viral fight, especially the portion of the fight where we're doing swords and we're out of the mechs and we're doing the fight in it's tall grass, Pokemon style tall grass, and so there's obfuscation and characters get to move around each other in an interesting way and it becomes a really tense battle. Yeah, that's cool. Also, shoutouts to more than a couple of people who, I'll just say little Lily Airier, because you did this too, writes down, Hokuro means mole, winky face, and this is accurate. So, Hokuro is named after the fact that he has a mole on his face. Cool. Alright. That works. Cool. And Dorshe means shield. Thanks, Ruslan Honcharenko, who also mentions that Daida's name meaning might be a little bit of a spoiler. I don't have any inclination as to what Daida's name might be, so that's good. Thank you for not telling me. Appreciate it. Okay, and that's it for everything that I wanted to talk about here at the beginning. We talked about a lot of stuff. That's been good. So, we are moving into episode 4 of Ousama Ranking. We're going off on our journey, and that's fully what I expect our focus is going to be. I don't think we're really going to turn probably most of our attention to Daida or Healingu or any of that stuff. We've got a main character who's journeying out into the world. Now, the bigger question is, how are we going to collide with Kage and at what point? And I'm curious about that. But I don't know if it's going to happen now or later or when or why. So, again, kind of like the demon thing, it's just up in the air and we'll wait for it to happen and then we'll talk about it when it happens. Cool? Cool. So, with all of that having been said, and it was a lot, let me take a quick break and then we will start up Ousama Ranking episode 4. See you in a sec. Woo, thank you for your patience. Sometimes my nose just gets stuffy. It's probably because it's early and it's a little bit chillier in the morning. You know how it is. But we are here for Ousama Ranking episode 4. I've got the episode subs please version up and ready to go. Should match up with all the other versions. Good. It's 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions, picture in picture in the description. Timer on YouTube. Come back for the discussion at the end. It'll be sick. I hope. I hope. There will be a BP timer to count you down. 2 version. Right. Early access on Patreon. Check that out. Likes, comments, subs, all helpful. Do those if you want to. And beep timer. Let's get into it. And finally, my tea. Hey, Dad. God, he's so big. He's so fucking big. Are we gonna focus on Domas? That would be good. Nice. He's happy about it. It's a cool appointment. Ah, and he's got a translator now, but later he learns it himself, right? That's cool. Zero, 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 zero. Thank you, Infinite Elgintensity. Oof. Pat, pat. Hey, show him the knee push-ups. Show him the knee push-ups. They're better. It's how you get worked up to it, dude. Oh, that looks great. It's so bouncy. You can do it. You're not very good at this. Interesting. Oh. Ah. The swordsmanship of a king, you might say. Yeah, this kid sucks at this shit. He's not good at this, but he's trying. He's trying so hard. I love the lighting as we move through that day. It's so subtle, but it just moves through that day. It's so cool. Okay, though. It's necessary. Oh, she's teaching him. Yeah. He cares a lot. I don't distrust Domasu yet. You can like? Yeah, it's obfuscating, but... So... It is weird. It's hard to say. Hey, child. Look at what I can do. Yeah, fuck you, bitch. Sorry. I'm so sorry. That's actually deeply insensitive of me, and I apologize for it sincerely. I'm not going to do that again. We have a connection. Oh. Ah, yes, I am a strong Sodo master. Oh. Buddy. Oh. Oh. You lost me. You lost me, bud. Aww. Okay. So I suddenly trust Domas for real. Like, for real. Fuck, is everybody good? Are we gonna have a Twister-Rooney where Daida's a cool dude and he's just trying to hang out and play with his toys or some shit? Fuck you, show. No. No, we need villains. And they can't just be... I'm confident. I'm not scared, but is everybody gonna be cool? Come on. Not everybody's cool. What was that? I don't know. Nothing fun about just taking shortcuts and then it shows us Daida. I don't love that part of the transition, that falling down into this segment, but I do like this segment. It's fine. Oh. Hi. How does that work? Hi, Mirror. Be decisive. Do away with future problems. Got to eliminate the power. We talked about this. We talked about exactly this, right? You find the prince in exile, you champion them. You gotta kill him. Yep, you have to kill him. Who have you sent? Just Bebin, right? Obtaining strength? That's respectable? Hi. Oh, what? Oh, thanks, boss. Boss, eh? Wow. But unpleasant things? Heh? Of course not. Yo, what the fuck? There was so much there. How do they keep doing this? They keep inserting these scenes that are like, oh, that's 10 seconds of content. What? Oh, it's a lubber. Lubbers. Or craybish. Crayfish. Aw. Aw. Travel time. I like that we're montaging this. This is good. Oh, buddy. You spend too long staring at the sun? Fucking kid. Onward. Y'all, keep your eyes on that child. He is tiny. Where did he go? Fuck. Instant loss. Good job, Hokuto. Oh. Oh, will this be a morality play? No. Hi. Gold, right? Yeah. Oh. That's like, uh-oh. First challenge. He's dead. Beautiful. Good job, Hokuro. Does he have any money on him? Has he been ripped completely? Yeah. Hi, buddy. All your shit be gone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's my fault. Oh. No. Oh. Hmm. Don't flash the cash. Interesting. Oh, it's our letter of intro. Yeah, Shikata Naika. There's nothing you can do about it. Oh, we're gonna have... Okay. Okay. All right, Domas. What is this? What are you doing? You're gonna need that strength from your pops, dude. Oh. Loyalty regardless. Yeah, good answer. It's still a good answer. A respect for the hierarchy, huh? Yeah, that's number 2 that Domas has hit us with that respect. Okay. Nice. Eat your fucking dinner. You are right, my prince. You are right, my— oh my god, that face. I can't even— I can't— oh. Oh, Kage? Kage? Who else? Oh. Okay. That just happens. Ooh, Flutterby. No, no, no. Shit, 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 dodgy bodgy. Oh my god. What else is down here? Anything? Yeah. No fucking way. No. What? What? It's fucking out of his gourd. Okay. Sorry. I came from up above in the world, and then I fell. Okay. And now I'm fucked. The secular world? Sure. Oh, yeah, good. Oh, well, that's fun. Sure. Uh, where are the rest of our squad? Yes, my friend. The fuck is that? What? What? He gets eaten, they eat the smoke and poop out more? What the fuck, dude? No, stop it. Okay, do the magic dance. Is this where that gif is from? I think it is. Oh. All right, we're learning some respect for the world. Okay. I mean, it's dope. Yep, there's the gif. That's the one. And now you may eat of the fruits of your— okay. Yep, sure. Thanks, Mr. King Guy. Who are you? Learn the law of the jungle. It's core and key. Whoa, buddy. Hey, no, I'm a king. Yeah, this is bad. Bye. Wow, that was really cool. I like that angle a lot. Friends. You've been gone for like 4 hours. He's a king. Not gonna talk about it. Let's go. What? He has a crown. What does being a king mean in this world? Ooh. Does it taste as tasty? Or do you have to do the dance? What? Fuck. Kunai. Kage? Nani? Some good sneaky bandits. Doggy, no! Oh, doggy has little doggies. It's fine. Domas stays on watch, huh? Oh, going for a pee break. Doubt it. I don't know that it's bebbing. Whoa. They saved him. That's so fucked. Whoa. Dude, okay, we keep interweaving these characters and these story elements. Oh. Yeah. I can't treat him like an equal at all. He's the prince. Oh. His mom's grave, probably. Bury the kits. Yeah. Yeah. Nice idea. Yeah, nice idea. That's just a thing? That's just a thing that exists. Sick? Wow. Lots of trade deals. Strong king. Oh. Okay. Totally different feeling town. I love it. Okay. I love that rumble. Whoa. Be very careful by that edge, kiddo. Yeah. Yoink. Yeah, okay. It's a confused emotion. Do you feel that you have to do this? Domas, you feel like you have to do this, right? Yeah. What? Oh, okay, let's not. Are we in the mirror? Yeah. Restriction. Temptation. He's gonna open the box. Probably shouldn't open the box, dude. Nope. There's no helping you now. What's last in the box? Okay. So he's a Saiyan. Okay. And now he's gone. And you're fucked. Woo! I never want to feel that way, right? I don't ever want to feel that weak again. And the game is afoot. End? No. Down into the depths. Oh, that goes far. End? What the fuck? Okay, best episode so far. In like its own way. There's so many questions. I have so many questions. It's such a fun place to be. Okay. I love this episode. And the thing that I love about this episode is something that I'm going to have a really hard time describing effectively. Because I don't know exactly how to put my finger on it. It's just seriously the truth. What I love about this episode is the way that all of these critical moments and these crucial lines and these moments that seem to shine a light or angle a mirror so that we can see glimpses of the bigger picture, but only glimpses. How those elements, those bits and pieces, those lines, those bits of light are woven in throughout the rest of the story. For example, this explanation from the mirror, which is exactly what we talked about before, right? Daida needs to kill Boji. Like, by conventional modern logic and historical logic, Daida, as a ruler, must kill the person who has a stronger claim to the throne than he does. He has to. Like, there really isn't an option here. And it doesn't matter how compassionate or good Daida is, and we've already seen that he's not those things. If he wants to consolidate power and keep his rule going, he has to do this. And so the mirror tells him that he has to do this. And this tells us what the mirror wants, right? That's the layer that isn't always present. I might get that from my understanding of politics and realpolitik and all that stuff, which I'm no genius at. I'm no expert at like understanding politics. And in fact, I'm too nice. Like, actually, legitimately, I really hate some of the like rules of power. I really hate the ways that some of the interactions and hierarchical structures of our world really truly function. I don't like them. And I endeavor to change some of them. It's part of my goals. That's what I want. But for the show to do that and use it as a way to reflect upon the characters in the background, even characters that we know nothing about, like this insidious mirror, is really, really fascinating. And then there's the other stuff, like weaving in during their journey, that one scene where they cross and they're like hiding behind a rock and this horrible monster walks by. It's, to do comparative analysis, it's really, really reminiscent to me in more than one way, of the scene in Fellowship. I think it's in Fellowship. I think it's before Two Towers. The scene in Fellowship where our hobbits and friends are off journeying and they sense something weird coming through the forest. So they all hide up against this, like in this little overhang, and one of the Nazgul goes by, right? And it's this horrible monster, and we barely get to see it, but we experience the knowledge that it's there right behind us, and that there are things in this world that are truly awful, and we don't want to fuck with them. And in this case, it's just a monster, but it still reveals something about the nature of the world, that travel is not safe, that travel is dangerous. And by doing so, it reinforces why Domas is with us. It reinforces all these things. Likewise, showing us all these emotional moments of Domas and Boji in the beginning is an absolutely beautiful and deeply fucked up, and I'm mad about it, fucking bait and switch, I guess, right? Because up to this point, we didn't have this as an indication. We had Kage going, I don't trust that Domas guy, and us going, I don't know, he hasn't done anything untrustworthy yet. And then in his first truly untrustworthy action, he tosses Boji into hell, potentially for his own good. That's layering. I don't know why Domas did it. I know that afterward he smiled, but it wasn't the smile of victory or joy. It was the smile of somebody resigned to something that they had to do, doing it against their own will, potentially. What the fuck is happening? And all of these individual things, you know, they, as I said, they create little bits that we can see in the reflections of these angled mirrors that reveal a whole, right? It's kind of like looking at the shadows on a wall in Plato's allegory of the cave. And it's Plato, right? It's not Aristotle. Plato, allegory, cave. I have to look it up. I don't want to fuck that up. Yep, it's Plato's cave. Looking at those shadows and being able to glean bits and pieces of the real stuff behind the scenes, the real powers in play. Oh, it's so interesting. What's in hell? Well, we'll probably find out pretty soon, won't we? And who threw those daggers? Did anybody throw them? Was it a trick by Domas? It wasn't Bebin, probably. Was it Kage? Why? There's no reason. And then elements of the OP start to make more sense. Nothing fun about just taking shortcuts, implying that that's what Daida is doing, whereas Boji is fighting it and finding his own power. It's his dirty shoes and footprints heading steadily into the future. And the ranking officer is here. Okay, so we get this set up. You gotta prevent that. It's necessary. Issue the order. The order is issued. You also need to take the power from your father. And we get a really interesting set of decisions from Daida. Is that really necessary? He is reluctant to steal that power. But I want to stake my reign on my own potential. Oh, what a noble idea. Will it last in the face of the reality that you're facing? No, you're not powerful enough. You want more than you have, and so you will take what you can get. You've already taken the mirror into your heart, right? So why not? Why not go a step further, Daida? Why not slip deeper into temptation? Ooh, juicy. But I love this here, right? Because it's really interesting. This line, I want to stake my reign on my own potential, is not something that we need from Daida, except that we're widening up our scope of who Daida is, what he wants, what his goals are, and getting away from he's the carbon copy evil brother guy who just wants power and stuff. Well, he does, but he also wants respect. He also wants to do it and feel like he's done it of his own volition through his own power. He wants to achieve things. There's a respectability and like a reasonability to this desire from Daida that we haven't seen before. And so this gets woven into the scenes that we have later in the dream sequence and colors it intensely and is the obstacle to it getting to its goal. That's complicated. That's multiple elements of storytelling in different directions that lead to greater conclusions without actually showing them, just by showing us bits and pieces and letting us extrapolate the whole. It's like we talk about show don't tell in storytelling. This is so far beyond show don't tell. This is showing us bits and pieces so that we have to guess at the whole, and it's expertly done. The actual storytelling flow of this show is kind of next level. And I assume that matches with what's in the manga because it's an adaptation, right? Big ups for that. Big ups. Okay, so Appius, Supia, scenes of the past, what it's looked like when they fought that thing, which is, again, little things that we don't even deal with, right? Oh, there's this big golem thing that whips its arms at us and is all woobledy. And that's how we rank kings. He smashed it real good, so we got a pretty high ranking. Done. Easy, right? And then we have this conversation with Appius, who's out there buying a new spear, right? The king in first place gets to take one item of his choosing from the divine treasure vault. Suddenly we introduce, like, a lot more of the metaphysics and the cosmology of this world. There is divinity. In fact, there is a god and a solitary god. There might be more, but there is a god. And there is a hell. These are all interesting things to know for us, right? It also plays into the idea of divine right of kings, which is interesting. But successively, each successive king chooses the same treasure from the pile and then goes insane or disappears, missing or lose their mind, or potentially both. What is it that they receive from God? Knowledge? Power? Something unexpected? We don't get to know. It's just an element. It's just a piece. And he tells us he could not say. So there's clearly something bigger going on in this universe, right? Like, there's a reason that a group of people is ranking kings and giving one of them the power to achieve a thing. There's some big scale and ulterior motive. Okay, moving on. Montage sequence, super cute. Super cool, too. Love the way that we phase through the day, the eyes, the place, the little story. How we, like, this tells some of Boji's story. He's never really experienced this way, right? But he's also silly and foolish and throws a bunch of money around and gets chased down by an obvious thief and gets all his shit stolen and then given back for unknown reasons. We have Daida. We have Domas, 2D names. We have Domas yell and chastise Hokudo. But this is also crucial. Boji clearly tries to take on the responsibility for it. It was his fault after all. And he says something really, really interesting that I think is in contrast with his later actions in the episode. Your mistakes are our responsibility. Ours is a hierarchical relationship. All of these normal people live their lives struggling, working as hard as they can to make money. Please refrain from doing anything to make them succumb to temptation. Oh man, it's really hard to break this down without going granularly, like word by word, but the way that it's phrased is like hard undercurrent classism, right? Like hard undercurrent classism. Boji, don't go talk to the homeless people. You'll give them ideas. They'll realize that you're weak and you have lots of money and they'll come and kill you and I'll have to kill all of them. Don't do that. Don't make them succumb to temptation. Let them live their simple lives the way that they do, and don't try to influence things outside of your sphere. There's also an element of this whole story, in a weird way. This is weird, and it's a hard thing to bring up, but given that it does come from an Eastern tradition, it seems to make sense. The whole original initial story of Siddhartha Gautama, I never know how to, the Buddha, right? Kid, isolated, lives in a palace. Father doesn't want him to experience the dangers of the world, coddles him, protects him anytime he goes out, prevents him from seeing death, decay, destruction, any of those things. Kid eventually goes out into the world on his own, sees some of these things, sees old men, sick men, dying men, dead men, realizes that these are things that are possible, realizes that his life is not going to be immune to these, connects them with the tragedies that he's already known. Isn't that exactly what we're doing in this episode? Boji goes off into the world, discovers the hardships of the common people, discovers a king living out on his own, is taught something crucial about the nature of this world and the way that it works, the way that having respect for the flow creates more of the flow. By the flow, I mean like the having of animals to hunt, but survival, right? Having respect from the place you get it is what brings more back, which fundamentally theologically works and is accurate to the way that we as hunter-gatherers and like less sophisticated folks would view those things. He's learning about the undercurrents of the world. He's also learning about tragedy. He also learns about death in two different ways, the foxes and the boar that's killed, the usefulness of the death and the uselessness of the death. He learns about cruelty. He learns about theft. And all of these things reflect back on what he's experienced in his own town, right? He experienced relating to Hokuto based on both of them having a death probably in their family, and finds compassion in that, which creates that connection, right? He has compassion for the boar that they kill, driven by the king who gives him this weird dance, but that doesn't last very long as the king pushes him away. So he learns about insanity too, and about the scariness that people can hold within their hearts. And, of course, in a 1-2 punch, he learns about betrayal. Betrayed by his closest advisors, his mama, and his brother. And then, it seems, betrayed by Domas, his most respected tutor and teacher. Boji is learning a lot very quickly, and it's unclear whether he's ready to actually learn any of it. But he's Boji, and he is hope. There's some layers here, man. Oh, man. Okay, so Damas brushes it off, and they go and they deal with this, and we use that situation to that opportunity to cut over to that situation where we watch Daida get fucked up and only ranked 90th. So, learns that he can't get the thing that he wants with the power of his own, and decides to cut a corner, right? Just like in the OP. Just like the OP implies that he might. And so he goes to take the power eventually, soon. At least once he has the dream. Okay. Will you follow the order? I guess you could call this round 3 of Domas talking through, like, severe authoritarianism. And what strikes me is, like, a genuine belief in the system. Like, genuine belief in feudalism. Feudalism is the right way. Nobility is divine right of kings. I must follow the orders of the people above me. You must follow the orders of me. Done. That's how our world works. And all of us thrive under this system. It's the best way to do things. Really interesting. And he reinforces that people like us are in no position to determine whether the orders they give us are right or wrong, which highly, strongly implies that whatever Domas did at the end of this episode is not of his own volition necessarily, but is something that he was ordered to do. By whom? By Daida? Maybe. I don't know. That's really interesting. But it's all there. It's all in the episode. It's all this backdrop that's also a huge setup for the betrayal. The respect that he has, obviously, for Boji. The familial nature of Boji giving him food. The way that we saw them hold hands. And the emotional impact that it had on Domas when Boji cared. Right? And tried so hard to fight. And was fighting so hard. And they find the bag, too. Somebody brought it back. Who? Kage. Kage's watching over Boji. It's my only explanation. It's the only one I've got. Okay, so I love this scene just as an outset thing. Holy shit, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Boji gets distracted by a butterfly, falls down a pit, and discovers, ooh, hi. Okay, so I don't know what's up here. What's up with this? This guy's clearly a king, right? He's got a crown. What does a king mean in this world? It doesn't necessarily mean a castle. Is he a forest king? Is he a monster? Is he a bear? I don't know what the fuck this guy is, but he's crazy and he's weird. Is he a potential future? Maybe. But he immediately begins teaching. And he does. Look. And this shit is whack. I don't understand at all. I don't care. It's fine. I do understand. It expresses itself perfectly. This thing, metaphorically or really, takes the smoke from offerings drifting up into the heavens, something that humans have done for thousands of years, is burn stuff so that whatever is up on high can look upon your offerings and grant you more blessings. And it does exactly that, except that it's way more literal. This is a creature of some kind, metaphysical in some way, that eats the smoke and poops out more beasts. What? What? That's crazy and really cool. But what the fuck? And so we do a dance in order to celebrate. Come, do this with me. Do as I'm doing. It's important. And so we do. And we dance around. And I really like it. I really, really like it. First off, the music's great. The angles are cool. The whole scene is very fun. And the way that it looks, I think, is just really great. Again, this does bring back to mind a comment that somebody posted a little while ago where they're like, I don't really get the background style. I don't like it. It feels like I've got characters just running around on watercolor scapes. And I can see that, but I do like it. I think it works really well, and I'm okay with it completely. I find that the modeled lighting that they're using actually creates a sense of space to me, and they're careful enough with the placement of the characters' feet and the shadows that it actually feels right. So I don't mind it. It's also fucking weird, and that's okay. So we nom down on some stuff. Mysterious, and yet this is the essence of life. We kill others and eat them so that we may yet live. And he's a little crazy. What about you? Just stares him down. Are you going to be my next sacrifice? Okay, time to go. Bye-bye. Leaving time. I love this cut. I think this looks amazing. So this is another one of those situations. It's just the nature of the way they move his legs and the shadow under him, and they shift the angle of the camera as he runs down this hill. It actually looks right to me. It looks really good. So finds his way to a place. Who the fuck is that? I don't know. And we leave him behind. A scorched earth. A scorched landscape. Weird kunai. Bebin? No. Probably bandits. Foxes. And he goes, so it's not Domas. He goes out there and he, with everybody else asleep, nobody's watching, he goes and he asks who it was. Was it Bebin? Show yourself. Nobody shows. And the foxes die from the poison. Now this is sad. This is somber. There was no sacrifice here. There was no purpose to this loss. This was just cruelty. And it happened because Boji was nearby, right? I think that's a crucial takeaway here. I think it's a really crucial takeaway. Boji's presence caused this, and he knows it. He hasn't reconciled with it yet, but his presence caused this. Where Boji goes, death may follow. That's scary, and it's important to keep in our minds, I think. Very interesting. So we see the compassion of Hokuro and the past compassion of Boji and where it comes from. We also get this moment of this freak out when he notices the crown. We are not of the same status. We are not of the same class. We must not. But he goes over and he sees Boji against his mother's grave, I assume, and realizes that we are still people. We are still the same. Okay, let's give them a proper burial. And so he does. And Domas watches. We hear about the afterlife. And we go to the gates of hell. I love the way this looks. The guard that they talk about is really crazy cool. The darkness is insane. I love that the city has a different vibe to it. Like it's all like terracotta or like stone brick houses, and it feels really different. Also, the entire color scheme is different. We go up here. It's scary. Come, child, come to the edge. And Domas pushes him. I thought this was a bait and switch. I thought he was going to reach out, grab the hood. It's really clever, right? Because the hood's right there. Reach out, grab the hood, hold him back. But no. Boop. And Boji looks up and sees the face of his betrayer as he falls into the endless depths. And healing has a premonition once more. Something awful might be happening. Domas walks away. Grim. Takes a few steps, cracks a bear smile, laughs to himself, but not in a happy way, and collapses on the floor, laughter turning to tears. Why did he do what he did? We don't know. It's up in the air. All the moments to drive home the emotional impact, weave them all together into this one scene. And have him apologize. And then we have a dream. The symbol of Daida's mother, authority and femininity, tells him, nope, don't do it. And then the mirror tells him, you must if you want power. And so, of course, he does. And he releases untold horrors. And it is Boji that represents the hope. tiny, tiny hope. And it fights desperately and is destroyed constantly as Daida watches. And as he wakes up, he decides he will take the strength. And you have to wonder, did the mirror make this happen? Almost certainly. So what does it want? What does Domas want? What does Daida want? What does the world want? What does the Ranking of Kings organization want? What do the People of Light want? Where are the Shadow Clan? Is Kage the only one left? What's gonna be in hell? What are Hokuro and Daida gonna do, and Domas gonna do? What's gonna happen to Daida and the rest of the kingdom? Where's Appius going? What the fuck is going on? I'm so thrilled by the number and variety of mysteries, personal, interpersonal, communal, kingdom-wide, existential, theological, that exist within this show, and how they are all woven together in a really interesting tapestry. This shit is bomb. The storytelling is dope. I like it a lot. And that's our end for the episode. Boom, we're done. I've been Teeaboo. This has been Ousama Ranking Episode 4. I hope you're as thrilled by this shit as I am, because it's bonkers to me. And I hope to catch you next week for the next episode. See you there. Peace.